Hello, everybody. Yeah, good morning. So, any issues, doubts? Though we have just started, take some time for concepts to sink in. Okay. Moment I discuss topic, it might be obviously that you might have question. My point is that let that concept, that theory, to sink in. अंदर जाने दो पहले. Okay, and try to give some time on it. Definitely you will understand. If you don't, then I am there, but give some time. Okay. So any issues, any doubts regarding we have discussed some of the concepts. Yeah. Fallacy of infinite regression means that what series we have discussed, that will be for infinite, and we will be clueless that when this series had started. Okay, but logically we say that there must be a point when this series had started. There must be first cause, isn't it? There must be first man. After that only we all have come, isn't it? If we don't believe that first man, then this series will be for infinite times. Okay, so that becomes a fallacy. There has to be some beginning. So some people say, some thinkers have said that there is one first cause who himself is uncaused. Because if he has cause, then again series will be there. So our intention is to stop this series. Hence we presumed that that first thing is the first cause who himself is uncaused. मेरा कोई cause नहीं है, लेकिन मैं सबका cause हूं. Hence this infinite series stops at this point. So that's how. If you don't believe into this, then that will be known as fallacy, error of infinite regression. Fallacy means error. Okay. Anything? All these concepts are part of our discussion. Okay. I told you, you have understood, but appreciation will come only when we'll take up some specific topic and some specific context will come. Then only we'll appreciate. Okay. Yeah. There is no supposition. Consciousness increases. It changes or is static. We will discuss. That's our subject matter, isn't it? This is what we will discuss in our subject. So just hold on for some time. We will understand. Okay. Anything? Yeah, more or less same. Maths, like for example, maths. Region here, our context is region based, means something like that of maths. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. That logic is different. That logic is justification. I'm saying based on my experience. This is also based on logic. But that's my justification based on experience. But I might be wrong also. But 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 cannot be wrong. It has to be 4. But what I have gained through my experience, okay, so in that gaining experience, I developed certain notion. There I might be wrong, and based on another new experience, I might change my perception. So यहाँ पर variability है. Anything? Okay. So in first class, we had discussed, I had given you some triggering points for the essay. And again, I'll appreciate that in the second class, you had correlated 4 or 5 topics and you utilized that triggering point. I'm really happy and I'm motivated also. I'll give you a very short triggering point for ethics also. Okay. And with that triggering point, you again see for last 7, 8, 9 years ethics paper, not just last 2, 3 years. You see entire, where I think it was introduced perhaps in 2012, 11 perhaps. So it's almost 10 years. You see, just have a look on those theoretical questions. And tomorrow we will see that with which question you are able to relate. That will be acting as, I'm not teaching you ethics, okay? I'm just giving you triggering point. And in a way, I'm creating a background for my subject also. Okay, fine. Can you please tell me what do you mean by ethics? Set of rules. Okay, two. Okay, fine. Rules are to be followed. Yeah. Neutrality. Morality. Code of conduct to regulate actions. Values. To differentiate good and bad, right and wrong. Huh? That's a smart work. How we ought to behave. Okay, yeah. Moral level, morality at the society level, but society could be weird. Society once upon a time had practiced sati system, child sacrifice, parda system. Child could be as weird as anything. So if society says I have to follow, but you might be doing some dangerous things. Some people have decided for some, and they have institutionalized that. The moral values. Okay. That's very good. That's better. That's again, I say smart work. You understood that what I'm going to say. Yeah. You had some. What ought to be. That's a better. What you have said is perfectly right, but that's incomplete. Set of rules, code of conduct, right and wrong, good and bad. But how? Who will tell? Who is going to tell you? According to what criteria? I say this is wrong. What you are doing is wrong. Then you might ask, sir, how? According to what criteria? This action is wrong. Are you getting my point? So there has to be certain parameters. Who will tell? Society. I told you society could be dangerous. State. State could be weird. कौन सा state? Democratic state? Not necessarily. Yes, in democracy, we are very near to that, but not necessarily. So what exactly ethics is, and how this morality, code of conduct, do's and don'ts, right and wrong, is to come from where? To understand that, first of all, you need to understand that ethics deals with two fundamental issues. You study anything, n number of things, you do PhD, ultimately, the entire ethics discipline rests on two basic and fundamental questions, two fundamental issues. Your entire ethics is based and revolving in and around these two issues. Nothing, not even third issue is there. The first issue is, what is good life? What is good life? This is the first and the foremost fundamental question in ethics. What do you mean by good life? Good life is a very big term. Here you can understand by good life, we mean to say the ultimate objective of human life. what exactly we want in this life. Money, that's a means. With money, what? IAS, that's a means. You know, during interview preparation, when we take mock, then we ask, what if you don't become IAS? Candidate comes in tension. Just before that, he said, I want to make difference in the lives of the grassroots level. And when we put certain question, what if not IAS? Then he says, I will again appear. That was not my question. I'm seeing that your 3 attempts are left out. Isn't it? That means you are not clear about the ultimate objective. IAS, you made IAS as the objective. But IAS is not the objective. IAS is a means to realize that. So when I said, what if not IAS, you should have said, I'll do that because my ultimate aim is that. Banta hai na bhai? It's a logical thing. I am not going to stop. Yes, with IAS, I will have authority, I will have power, and I will have resources, etc., etc. But not if IAS, then this. Lekin isko, I have to realize. So that's the aim. And in ethics, since ethics is a branch of philosophy, and philosophy is teleological, we discussed. Okay. So ethics deals with this good life. That means you can say, first of all, we need to lay down the ultimate aim and objective of human life, which you can say summum bonum of human life. Who will lay down this objective? That's the question. Okay, who will tell me that this is like ultimate aim? No, it's not based on whims and fancies of an individual. Otherwise, it will be weird. It will be, chaotic. This objective will be based on reason. You can say it will be based on wisdom. Okay. It is not random laying down objective. It is not like that Hitler have said in his state that my state would be free from Jews. And hence people started and system started eliminating, killing Jews. And Hitler claimed that this is what the objective is, what is good life, to eliminate Jews from the Germany. But was that based on wisdom and was that based on reason? No. Hence that is unethical. So what I'm trying to say, that to establish this, we need to use our reason, wisdom. But reason is not static, it is dynamic. Right now, whatever rationality we have, was it same 100 years back? Is it more refined? Is it more matured? 100 years down the lane, will it be in negative or like more refined? More refined. Once upon a time, we practiced such a system. But now we say, this is brutal act. Isn't it? That means our reason is growing. If our reason is growing, so then whatever objective you have laid down, that will involve continuous critical evaluation or analysis, examination of objective. So this objective will be keep on refining based on reason, rationality, logic, wisdom. Hence, it is not based on any individual's whims and fancies. It is not like that the most powerful person comes and he says, this is summum bonum of human life. No. It has to be examined through the lenses of reason. Questioning. The importance of questioning. Questioning means seeking not just answers, justification. We will questioning, seeking justification, and whatever is wrong, we will say it is wrong, and hence We will raise one thing, what ought to be. And hence, in this journey, what we will be discovering? Values. Inequality, discrimination is wrong. What ought to be? Equality. Curtailment of my mind is wrong. Hence, what ought to be? Freedom, justice, truthfulness, honesty, compassion. We kept on raising questions. We kept on, seeking justification. And in that journey, we are creating in this process world of values. This world of values is not the creation of 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. It is ever dynamic. Ever since man has come on the earth, right from that day till this day, this world of values is continuously evolving. Justice now and justice 200 back, is it same? No. Justice dimensions have evolved, have been refined. Getting my point? So that's how the world of values. And this world of values is coming from this wonderful phenomenon. And hence, continuous, constant critical examination based on reason. And hence, that's how the evolution of your good life emerges. So ethics laid down, first of all, that first you decide this. So by good life, we mean to say objective. So in ethics, first of all, what you need to establish? Objective. If you talk in philosophical terms, then this objective will be known as Samambundam of human life, good life. Or you can say, philosophy says that what is good life? It is a life of happiness. So what is the supreme aim of a human life? Happiness. Objective is laid down. Once objective is laid down through reason, through critical examination, then this second thing comes. And second thing comes, how we ought to live. How we ought to live. That means we ought to live in such a way so that we can realize good life. And this good life is based on reason. And once it is laid down, that world of values, the world of objective, once it has been established, then second thing is how we ought to live. If I live in a such a way that I am realizing my objective, my world of values, then I am ethical. And if I'm leading my life in such a way that instead of realizing I'm moving away from it, then I am unethical. This is world of values. This objective will tell us whether my action is ethical or unethical, or right or wrong, or good or bad. It's a very simple now. The toughest thing, the biggest challenge in ethics is to establish. And that is not random, okay? We have done it. Once this is established, then whatever you are doing, we can immediately evaluate whether your actions are right or wrong, ethical or unethical. Is that fine? If that is understood, essence of ethics, you have got it. And you will see, once you have understood, which you will understand, slightly reflect on that. And once you will see previous year questions, I'm definitely that this essence will delight you. Okay, I want you to discover some few questions. I can tell you right now, but let us hold. That's a simple game. I'll give you certain examples. I'll substantiate it. Okay, but till now, is that fine? So in ethics, moment word ethics come, your focus should be that what is the ultimate Objective. Because according to this objective only, your actions are going to be evaluated, examined. If not this, then on what basis I'm saying that your action is wrong? If I say what you are doing is wrong, obviously you will ask, sir, how, why? So I need to first lay down this. And this is not like one day. I mean, this is a process. Okay. So the first and foremost thing in ethics is to lay down the objective based on reason. Second question comes, how we ought to live. We ought to live in a such a way so that we can realize more and more good life. If we are moving towards our good life, we are ethical. If we are away, then unethical. I hope it is fine. Just hold on. Religion change हो रहा है? Who says? There is a 3 problems in religion: misunderstanding, misinterpretation, misuse. Reason? Okay, okay, not religion. You are saying reason. Okay. Yes. Continue, evolve hoga. Justice is justice. But justice now and justice 100 years back, there's a difference. Because now justice has been enriched by contemporary, brilliant person, great scholar, Amartya Sen. You will get enrichment of the idea of justice. Okay. So, I mean, you see freedom 500, 1000 years back and freedom now. तो वैल्यू रहेगी, लेकिन वैल्यू का एनहेंसमेंट होता रहेगा, एनरिचमेंट होता रहेगा, वैल्यू नहीं बदलेगी, वैल्यू के मायने बदल जाएंगे. Okay. So this is, so again I'll repeat, so in ethics the first and foremost and fundamental thing is to establish first objective, and then what comes? Your code of conduct, and your code of conduct will be evaluated according to objective. Hence, according to Buddha, we haven't studied Buddha, but yes, I can still afford to ask you. According to Buddhism, what is good life? Yeah, Nirvana, because that's the ultimate objective of Buddhism. So he laid down the ultimate objective of human life is to attain Nirvana or moksha, you can say. Second question, how we ought to live? Yes, you study all these things in GS. We ought to follow Ashtangik Marg, eightfold path. If I am following eightfold path, I am ethical in Buddhism. Broadly, what is good life according to Indian ethics? Moksha. According to Indian ethics, the ultimate aim of human life is to attain moksha, liberation, salvation, nirvana. Different system, different terminologies. But we can say liberation, moksha, salvation, or nirvana. Once it is established, then the second question becomes very easy. How we ought to live? We ought to live in a such a way so that we can attain moksha, liberation, salvation, or nirvana. Is that clear? This is what in philosophy. Is that clear? Now we will come out of philosophy. Just hold on. Just hold on. I'm taking you, I'm taking you out of philosophy now. Ethics is branch of philosophy, right? So what exactly ethics? Philosophy can tell you the best, which it has told. Now we have to come out of philosophy. But basic dimensions and basic contours of ethics are these only. दो क्वेश्चन यही रहेंगे, ये दो क्वेश्चन बदलते रहेंगे, but रहेंगे ये दो ही fundamentally. I hope it is clear. Now I'll keep on asking You just think and then answer. What is environmental ethics? So to know what is environmental ethics, first you need to let down objective. So what is objective? It's not just protect environment. Sustainable development. Objective is let down. How we ought to act. We ought to behave in such a way so that we can have sustainable development. Hence, if you are following eco technologies, is it according to environmental ethics? Yes. If you are consuming rainwater harvesting, if you are wasting water, are you ethical or unethical? In environmental ethics. It's so easy now. Directly bata denge. Immediately I'll tell you whether this action is ethical or unethical in environmental ethics. I think second year, when ethics was introduced, in the second year, I am forced to, I didn't want to tell you questions, but still, this question was there. What is environmental ethics? It is not mentioned in the syllabus. Okay. What is medical ethics? You have formula. Don't try to recall any definition. No, we are doing all things organic. You have formula, apply formula, and let me know answer. What is medical ethics? To sustain and protect human life, broadly, care for all, or like to save human life. So if a doctor is writing unnecessarily test and diagnosis unnecessarily, then his action is. If a doctor is going for cesarean delivery rather than normal delivery, I mean forcefully, just out of profit and commercialization, is this action is. Why? What made you to say this? Because you have parameter. You are not thinking, you are not working on whims and fancies. You are seeing his action, comparing with the mismatch, unethical. Getting my point? That's medical ethics. Similarly, you have management ethics, teaching ethics, whichever, whatever, कुछ भी लगा दो. ये दो क्वेश्चन रहेंगे हमेशा. Never forget these two. You forget, you will blunder, you will fumble. In the same way, when your paper 4 has been introduced, ethics, integrity, and aptitude, don't you think these two questions must be applicable or there also? But that's not written in the syllabus. The best part is. And without knowing these two questions and their implications, it is very funny thing that people are preparing syllabus. So you might get 90, 95 at the max if you are good writing skills, 100, but you will not get 120 plus. Some people get, because they got it essence. And 25 marks is a huge gap. Is a huge. Okay. So when I apply these two questions in my paper 4, ethics, integrity, and aptitude, what I get? That's a good score, definitely. But these two questions will get transformed according to paper 4. What those two questions become according to paper 4? We have to come into administrative setup. So instead of writing what is good life, I would be writing what is the ultimate objective of paper 4 ethics? Yeah, that's so easy to crack now. So what is good administration? Or exact thing is, what is good governance? So before touching paper 4, what you need to know first? What exactly good governance mean? Bina good governance padhe, I mean, you are studying ethics. रटे जा रहे हो यार, यू आर मगिंग, व्हाट इज मॉरलिटी, व्हाट इज दिस, व्हाट इज दैट, वैल्यूज है, थिंकर्स पढ़ाए जा रहे हैं, क्या एथिक्स का डायमेंशन तो बहुत बड़ा है. We have done environmental ethics, we have done medical ethics, we have done management ethics, we have done teaching ethics, we are now getting into governance ethics. 5 areas तो यहीं बता दिए मैंने. So first is, what is good governance? First you let down this, you understand this, and you need to see what exactly good governance is, what is that world of values. And once that is clear, then second question obviously come, how we ought to govern. If you are governing in a such a way that that objective is realized, then you are ethical, otherwise unethical. You can evaluate any civil servant now. You can evaluate action of any minister. किसी का कुछ भी ले लो. Corruption, red tapeism, poor implementations of schemes and programs, because that objective is not being fulfilled. So what is good governance? But is it merely good governance? Yeah. So it's not merely good governance. Good governance you study in paper 2. In paper 4, we study what is ethical governance. So there are 3 things. What is governance, what is good governance, and what is ethical governance. I think 2-3 years back, question was asked. It is not there in the syllabus, and I'm really prided to say that in 2014, I had taught, that is lecture is on YouTube also. There I have discussed governance, good governance, and ethical governance. Let me pamper my ego. At least I can do that. And it's a, you know, for a teacher, it's like a delightful. Yeah, sahi lag gaya. So what is ethical governance? Your fundamental question is, what is ethical governance and how we ought to live? I'll just shorten it. What is ethical governance? Who will tell you now? One last thing. What is ethical governance? Who will tell you? Constitution. Very good. In Constitution, what? Preamble. Because preamble is not simply document. Preamble is a world of values. That's a world of values. See preamble again. Democracy and socialist, justice, liberty, equality, supreme values are there. So what is good life? What is ethical governance? That world of values. How we ought to act, serve, rule, govern according to preamble, world of values. If you are doing action, if it is matching with the preamble, it is. And if it is not matching, unethical. Is just such a simple. Within preamble, make a list of those values and see which value will come at the top. And all other values are merely means to realize that. That's your homework. Some other day, if time permits, I'll give you that. Is that fine? So we have discussed what is ethics, 2 fundamental questions, and we have seen different dimensions of ethics. As far as here UPSC preparation is concerned, we have correlated with paper 4 also, and these are the 2 fundamental issues. Not just good governance, we are concerned with ethical governance, because good governance might not be. This is food for thought. You think on this, reflect on this, you will get the answer. Okay, so with this triggering point, just we will take initially 5-10 minutes tomorrow to see that what previous year questions you are able to correlate. Okay, fine. So let us come back what we have discussed. It will be background of our Indian philosophy. Okay. We have discussed yesterday some of the concepts. Yeah. Yeah, of course, of course. Hmm. Here comes subjectivity. Okay. And here comes, you have asked that good life and ethical governance is laid down in preamble, but what about our life? Where is that preamble? So that you have to choose. That's a subjective. But broadly, that is happiness. Now, what is happiness? That's a very big issue. That's a very big issue. And hence you have syllabus. Hence you have thinkers. Are you getting my point? So that's there. So our reference point is happiness, but happiness has to be examined. Okay, so it was more of like ethics class. Huh? But yes, I think that will help you a lot. Yeah. That multiple objectives definitely will converge at something at one point. That's relative, right? That's what we have used reason. Truth is truth. That's how ethics is not all about black and white. It's not so easy. No, one word answer is not there in ethics. We have to see the entire context, and there are many other parameters. I've just given you the essence. I have not taught you ethics. Okay, but in ethics, one word answer is not there. उसका अभी immediately नहीं बता सकते. We will see case study. We will see that, and then we will be able to analyze what exactly where they stand. But what you have said is right. Yeah, one universal answer is not there. That's in ethics, there is nothing black and white. Okay, killing is wrong, but there is something called war ethics also, because you have to save larger number of people in the interest of humanity. You have to do this. There are many things. Okay, that's good that your mind is triggered, but I'll confine my discussion only to this. You just see previous year questions and try to correlate with that. I'm damn sure that it will act as a triggering point, and I will be happy that if it helps you. Definitely it will. Okay, let us come to our philosophy. We have discussed some of the things, like we have a fast recap. We have seen that everything in this world is relative. We have seen that things based on experience, things based on reason. We have also seen that ultimate reality, why it is needed, and logically it has to be how many? That is one. So any philosopher who accepts one would be consistent, and anybody who accepts more than one or none of them would become inconsistent. As and when these philosophers come, you will understand that. Then we have also seen difference between philosophy and science. We have also understood the word transcendental. we have referred space and time. These are smaller things, space and time, but yes, sometimes we hesitate in asking. Okay, then what else? Anything? Anything left out? Yeah. Yeah. This world ultimately consists of how many things? Two things. These are ultimately soul and matter or body, living and non-living. Essence we have seen, for example, cowness. Eternal, we have understood that which is beyond production and destruction, birth and death, that is timeless. Right? It is timeless means that even if there is no time, that thing would be there. Okay? That is not dependent on time. Fallacy of infinite regression. I think this we have revised, recapped all the concepts. Okay. We have also understood that all these philosophers are concerned to explain this world. What exactly is going on? And they want to explain this with the help of reality. Or I can simply say that all these philosophers are trying to explain the reality. Real kya hai? And reality is that which is eternal, ultimate, absolute, independent, self-existent, self-caused. That's how the reality is. Table is not real. Why? Because it is subject to destruction. You say, sir, it is real. I'll make it as a bonfire immediately. And it perished. Then I'll say, yeah, you said it is real, but it is no more. तो ये किस बात का real हो गया? ये तो contingent हो गया. It has become accidental. Sometimes there and sometimes. So in this world, everything is contingent. Is there any single thing which persists and sustains? No. Yeah. Anything which is produced is subject to destruction. Anybody takes birth, what is certain? Death. Hence, birth implies death. तो यहां तो कोई परमानेंस है नहीं. So I want to explain this world with some permanent entity or impermanent entity. And that permanent entity will be reality. Different people will call this reality by different names. That's not our issue. Isn't it? But reality has to be there. Once we say reality, then two questions arises. These two questions are, what is this? What is this reality? And second question arises, how to know this? Okay. So whenever we talk about reality, two issues, two questions arises. What and how? Means what is this? And if it is like this, then how to know this? क्या है और कैसे जानूं इसको? ठीक? This what aspect is referred as a discipline of philosophy by a term that is known as metaphysics. Literal meaning of metaphysics is, meta means beyond, and physics means experience. That which is beyond experience, that is metaphysics. Okay, but broadly, metaphysics is a theory of reality. When we talk about reality, it is known as when we talk about reality, it is known as metaphysics. Reality क्या है, उसके features, उसके characteristics, उसके properties, that segment, that discipline, that branch is known as metaphysics. Don't mug up, it's a simple thing. Okay, the way, the means to know that, the way, the means, the instrument through which you get to know about that reality, this aspect is known as epistemology. So philosophy has two dimensions, metaphysics and epistemology. Metaphysics deals with what aspect of reality? And epistemology deals with means, instrument, way, path to know that. किस जरिए से, किस साधन से, किस मीडियम से आप उसको जानोगे. That's epistemology. Okay, can you give me some example of metaphysics? Give me specific. God, isn't it? So God is in this world, or is it transcendental? Transcendental. And transcendental means beyond space and time. So when I talk about God, I am dealing with which aspect of philosophy? Metaphysics. Okay, fine, very good. Now I'll give you one example. You have to tell in that example what is metaphysics and what is epistemology. Okay. When I was reading Vedas, I got to know that God is infallible. What is metaphysics and what is epistemology? Vedas. In dreams, my God had come and he blessed me with prosperity. What is epistemology? Dream. And what is metaphysics? In Bible, God is described this. What is epistemology and metaphysics? Isn't it? Ultimate reality is substance, and I have intuitively realized it. What is metaphysics? Substance. And epistemology? Intuitive. Intuition se pata laga. Meditation se pata laga. Something like that. I hope that's clear. Okay. So metaphysics and epistemology. Are they separate or are they two aspects of a single coin? Two aspects of a single coin. Can I ever talk about metaphysics without referring to epistemology? No. Or can I talk about epistemology without referring to metaphysics? No. So both are interlinked, though they are two sides of a single coin. Not same thing, different thing, but they go together. Metaphysics and epistemology. In paper 1, we will study only metaphysics and epistemology. Getting? Perhaps we won't be referring these terms now after this. Perhaps here and there comes. Otherwise, we will not refer. क्योंकि पेपर 1 में पढ़ ही रहे, बार-बार रोज थोड़ी बताएंगे metaphysics है. And metaphysics in its literal meaning is something, and philosophy is speculative. Philosophy, the aspect with which we are concerned, We want to know things through speculation. So obviously that is beyond experience. So if somebody in the market asks you, what is metaphysics? उसको बोलना है जाने यार काम कर अपना. मतलब नहीं है ना अननेसेसरी कि डिप्रेस दिख रहे हैं फिलोसफी को उसको डिप्रेस करता हुआ चलता हूँ. It is there. It is there. It's a wonderful subject. But people, एक तो इसका नाम बहुत अजीब सा यार, फिलोसफी मतलब वो गया भाई वो ट्रांसेंडेंटल वर्ल्ड. Isn't it? That's the problem. Otherwise ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. You will enjoy this journey and it would be as objective as anything. So metaphysics, epistemology, इन वर्ड्स को देख के डोंट गेट ओवरवेल्म्ड. क्या है ये? यही पढ़ रहे हो भाई. ओके, मेटाफिजिक्स एंड एपिस्टेमोलॉजी. You are asking or telling? Of course, Vedas are the epistemology. Vedas talk about the reality. So it has metaphysical truths. But those metaphysical truths, how do I know? I read Vedas. Isn't it? No, what is the confusion? I didn't understand. I mean, you are complicating things. It is the source. It is the source of this only. Otherwise, how do I know about God? पहले जमाने में तो आकाशवाणी हो जाए करती थी, आजकल तो होती नहीं. So that Akashvani, which used to occur, I don't know when, long back, but that Akashvani was, and what he spoke, that we got to know about reality. Akashvani में क्यों भाई ढंग से रहने तो देख ले फिर. So I got to know, okay, God is omnipotent, यार, he can do anything. कुछ भी कर देता है भाई. This is how we justify our belief in transcendental things or like in God. मैं ये कर दूंगा, वो कर दूंगा, I'll do this, I'll do that. What nonsense this है. तो थीस्ट ये कहेगा कि गॉड का जब इच्छा होगा ना तब नीचे से धरती हिलाएगा, तो हिलता रहेगा और कुछ कर नहीं पाएगा. हिलेगा मतलब what has come? Earthquake. A lot of things. Huh? I think still it is not clear. Okay. Somebody is interpreting. Huh? Interpreting what? What is written, about whom it is written? You are answering. And about God, how do I came to know? You have the answer. Okay, fine. Now the thing is, how to know? Okay, in what different ways we can know the reality? This reality, I'll just remove this, but otherwise it will create confusion. Reality is what? Now this what, reality, can be known how? One way is, yeah, speculation. Okay, fine. One way is speculation. Hence, this is known as speculative metaphysics. It's a speculative metaphysics because through speculation, I'm getting to know metaphysical truths. Okay. Another way of knowing reality is a testimony. बड़ी अंदर से खबर लेके आया. That's too technical. You are caught. Huh? Seeing means observing, experimenting, and verification. Yes, that is observation, experimentation, verification. Hence, this is which metaphysics? scientific metaphysics. Basically, they are playing with the words. Okay, that's a jugglery of words. Otherwise, metaphysics का literal meaning तो क्या था? Beyond experience. But metaphysics has been sometimes used in a broader sense, in the sense of reality. So reality, even science tells you reality. And even this speculation tells you the reality. So we have two: scientific metaphysics and speculative metaphysics. Sometimes you might come across, not in philosophy also, but in general, in newspaper also you might come across naturalistic metaphysics. That means you are trying to know reality through natural laws. This is just playing with the word, right? And out of these, we are concerned only with, we are concerned with only this. We are not concerned with this one. Yes. In philosophy, no verification. Where did I say verification? In scientific. Your question is related metaphysics in literal sense. Here, meaning is broad sense. Okay. Here, meaning is referring to this reality. Okay. We are concerned with this. So just remember only two things: metaphysics and epistemology. Metaphysics deals with what aspect, and epistemology deals with how to know that. Simple thing. Okay. Some other day also we will take a recap of this fact. Though I think in the very first chapter, we will have utilization of, I think, some important concept, including this. I told you just flip over these pages for few days. After that, these facts, these things will settle in your mind. That will not create any issue. That's our fundamental concepts. Now we are getting inside the syllabus, and I will give you big picture formation for the Western philosophy. Okay, we will analyze our syllabus Western so that you understand what's it all about. Western philosophy, Western syllabus, and I'm giving you big picture formation. Paper 1, first part, okay? And your Western philosophy is actually divided into 3 units, though it is not mentioned in the syllabus, okay? But this is how I need to tell you, okay, how it is divided and what exactly the essence of Western philosophy. We have unit 1. And unit 1 consists of ancient philosophers or Greek philosophers. Okay. And in this unit, we have 2 thinkers, 2 philosophers. One is Plato and his faithful and very good student, Aristotle. Actually, there have been 3 set of trilogy, 3 philosophers: Socrates, his student, Plato, his student, Aristotle. But in our syllabus, Socrates is not there, hence we will not study him. Why to study? He might be required in paper 4 ethics, but not here, because it is not mentioned, hence a single mark question will not come from him. Though it is different issue that it is said that whatever Plato is saying, actually he is elaborating his master's teaching. Probably Socrates did not have much time. Okay, so job was left to Plato. So two thinkers are there from ancient philosophy, Greek philosophy, Plato and Aristotle. This unit is over. From this unit, one question is certain. Okay, sometimes two questions, but very rare. Why? Because whatever Plato have said, we will see that would be critically examined by his own student, Aristotle. Because philosophy means questioning. Philosophy means not to accept things as granted. So no matter Aristotle was so obedient and so faithful student of his Plato, still he will be acting as a true philosopher. And he would be critically examining Plato. Hence, Aristotle would be pointing out that, sir, you have given something wonderful, but I think at various places you went wrong. These points like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these points should have been like this. Point 1 should be like this. Point 2 should be like this. And in that way, philosophy of Aristotle is developed in that process. Okay? Hence, any question on Plato will have reference to, because we need to give his criticism also. And any question on Aristotle will have reference of Plato, because it has to be told that in what background and with what reference Aristotle is talking about. So obviously Aristotle says, look, these were the problem in his philosophy, and hence I'm going to rectify that. Hence both these philosophers are in a way joined. Hence one question, but one question is certain, because it belongs to one separate unit. Sometimes I think this year two questions have been there. That's a matter of chance. Okay. Once unit is over, then that's over. There should not be any hangover of unit 1 over subsequent topics, because they have their own agenda. They had their own terminologies. Okay. So here we will see fresh. Until and unless we intentionally bring them, we will not refer to them. Right. Now we have unit 2. And unit 2 consists of modern philosophers. We don't have medieval philosophers. Oh, in medieval, there have been many great philosophers, but I mean, syllabus is not including. Hence, of course, we will not discuss them. So medieval nahi hai, wo nahi padna hai. We have modern. When we come in modern philosophy, then we come across different philosophical thoughts, different philosophical trend. We find different debate. Okay, जैसे आज के time में, in present times, what are the debatable points? Like you must have come across with the words like fundamentalism, feminism, fascism. It is like right wing. I mean, there are many issues in every era. In the same way, in modern times, in philosophy, there have been different philosophical thoughts. Like in present time, we are talking about environmentalism, how to approach environment. There are different thoughts, different debate is there. In the same way, here we have one such trend is rationalism. Okay, one such trend is rationalism. Now, what rationalism says? Rationalism are saying that ultimate source of knowledge is reason. All our knowledge is derived from reason, and experience has no role in the origin of knowledge. Experience is not the source of knowledge. Yes, experience can work further, but it won't be the source of knowledge. Source of knowledge is ultimately reason. So that means that if nothing is coming from experience, yet we have knowledge, that means we are born with complete knowledge. Isn't it? By experience से कुछ आ नहीं रहा है, according to them. Experience has no role in the origin of knowledge. Entire knowledge will come from reason. If I'm not gaining anything from outside through my sense organ, yet I have knowledge, that means my knowledge is acquired or innate. My knowledge is innate. I'm born with knowledge. For example, analogies, examples are very important. Without examples, it is difficult to appreciate. So example is, suppose somebody is riding horse and horse is walking. This rider whips it and horse start running. Horse start running. Earlier, horse was walking. It is whipped and horse start running. Now, horse claims that, look, I have learned the art of running. But rationalist will say that you did not learn anything new. The art of learning was already present in you. It is only that you had forgotten. It was already in you. When whipping was done, that whipping provided an occasion, a chance for the activation of running, and you started running. So running, is it new phenomena or is it just simply recollection? Recollection. Who says? Rationalist. अब हमारा रोल, मेरा रोल खत्म. Okay. Now in paper 1, I would be saying only those things which these people have said. I have no authority to add anything or to delete anything. My only expertise lies in transferring their mind to you in the most simplest way. Okay. So running is already there. It is not new phenomena, new learning. It is simply recollection. That's a rationalism. That means art of running was innate. Innate means janmjat. Janmjat means I am born with complete knowledge. It is just as that till now I have not seen any pen. Not heard, not read, not seen, not experienced, nothing. I have zero idea about pen. But idea of pen is already present in me. But I had forgot. I have no clue about that. Moment pen comes in front of me, this pen acts as a provocative agency to activate my knowledge of pen. It is activated. And then I say, oh, it's a very beautiful pen. But I am seeing it but its knowledge is already in me. That's a rationalism. experience role is 0. Everything is derived from reason. Okay. So can you please tell me that these rationalist philosopher will be belonging mostly from which discipline, or which discipline is based on such concept? Not science, maths, because maths is purely based on reason. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Sum of angles of a triangle is equal to khatam. Isn't it? Hence, here we have 3 philosophers, and all 3 philosophers are mathematicians. क्योंकि ऐसी philosophy सिर्फ mathematician ही दे सकता है. And hence, we have here Descartes. I'll write here. He will initiate rationalism. In modern philosophy, he is the first rationalist. He will come, he will give certain philosophy, he will raise certain issues, but he would be not, he would be lacking somewhere vis-a-vis rationalism. Okay. Wherever he has left and whatever his inconsistencies were, that will be picked up by next philosopher, Spinoza. And he will take that rationalism philosophy to another level. But we will see that in Spinoza also, there some problems had arisen. Those problems will be picked up by next philosopher, and that is Leibniz. And he will take up this rationalism, this rational thought, to the highest level, to the climax, where he would be saying that 100% things are innate. He will take rationalism to the climax. Okay, so we have 3 rationalist philosophers: Descartes, Spinoza, and Leibniz. Is that fine? Some thought process will be there. That's our subject. I'm just giving you the contours of Western. Fundamental issue is this. So according to them, everything is innate, nothing new acquired. All my knowledge is recollection. According to them, it means that whatever they are saying, or whatever your philosophy paper 1 is saying, or whatever your philosophy entire paper is saying, by them, all that content is already in you, but you had forgotten. And you are using me for recollection. So much so that what kind of paper is going to come, UPSC paper, that is already in you. But it will be revealed only in the examination center. Problem here. I mean, if we follow them, then this is how the outcome. Anyway, we have this rationalism. Just opposite to rationalism, there is another philosophical trend who say just opposite, and they say that ultimate source of knowledge is experience, where role of reason is nothing. Just opposite to that. And this philosophy is known as empiricism. This is This philosophical trend is empiricism. Empiricism means experience based, and anything based on experience is anything based on experience is subjective, variable, and accordingly we will find such things here. They say that reason can work further, but that won't be the source of knowledge. Ultimately, all our knowledge is to be derived from experience, that is from outside, that is through our sense organs. That means at the time of birth, child's mind is blank. Because when everything is to come from experience, then at the time of birth, child's mind is blank. That is, child's mind is tabula rasa. Tabula rasa means blank slate. Like this, nothing is written. Before the class, board was empty. As teacher comes, he start writing, and then impression comes on the board. In the same way, mind is tabula rasa, blank. As this child experiences, that experience becomes the matter of knowledge. More experience, more knowledge. More experience, more knowledge. Keep on experiencing, keep on enhancing knowledge. However, in rationalism, child's mind at the time of birth is completely filled with knowledge. There is simply what? Recollection. Nothing can come from outside. Is that clear? That's so simple. There we had three philosophers. Here also we will have three philosophers. One is John Locke, father of empirical thought. He will initiate the philosophy of empiricism. Okay? And he will give theory of tabula rasa. But while giving his theory of empiricism, he deviated and had accepted certain things which are not based on. Hence, he becomes, that inconsistency will be picked up by next philosopher. And he will remove those inconsistencies. Isn't it? But while removing inconsistencies of earlier philosopher, he himself become inconsistent because he also accepted certain things which are not based on experience. And hence we have now Hume. And Hume will take this empirical thought to the climax. So much so that he would be saying that I am not going to accept anything until unless it is given in and through experience, come what may. कुछ भी कर लो, experience करा दो, I'll accept it. Experience नहीं तो नहीं मानूंगा. So will he accept God? Will he accept soul? Will he accept transcendental world? Hence you know his philosophy now. Okay. So we have two philosophical trends, rationalism and empiricism. and there is an intense debate between them. One says supremacy of reason, other says supremacy of experience. Both have their own justification, both have their own logic, both have their own premises, and both have equally powerful arguments. But at the end of the day, we are still clueless कि भाई knowledge कैसे बनती है, ये क्या हुआ, हम ultimately बताओ ना यार result. How exactly knowledge is to be formed? Because here both seems to be right. Philosophy में एक बड़ी problem है. These people are so strong in their logic, in their justification, that every philosopher seems to be right, correct. जिसको भी सुनेंगे उसको लगा हाँ यार ये सही है. When we take up next philosopher, then we will understand, अबे यार पहले वाले ने धोखा दिया था. It is like that. इतने powerful arguments. There is a layman. I am clueless. Okay, there are various philosophical trends. Many philosophical trends are there, but we are concerned only with, as of now, according to our syllabus, with rationalism and empiricism. बहुत तरह के चल रहे हैं यार, हमारे syllabus में है ही नहीं, मैं क्यों पढ़ूं? नहीं पढ़ेगा. Okay, hence it is because of this. Initially, I suggest not to pick up textbooks. Because textbooks are not guide. Textbooks are textbooks. And once you pick up, then you end up reading so many things which are not part of our syllabus. There's a logic, no? When I'm suggesting something, when you have come over here, when you have trust in me, I mean, wo to banta nahi yaar, you have to believe in. Okay, so when I'm saying that don't touch right now textbooks, that means don't touch. Don't be in hurry or eager to become IAS. एक साल तो यूपीएससी लेता है, कितनी जल्दीबाजी कर लो आप. Isn't it? One complete year takes. So move with calmness, move steadily, move continuously, right? Have a proper strategy, have a proper planning, right? And have patience, have perseverance. You must have heard perseverance. Perseverance को कैसे deal करना है? You need to learn that. It is not like that you all the year you have to study 10 hours, 12 hours. जरूरत नहीं है. This is what I mean to say. You need to have proper planning and strategy, when to take break, when to stretch, when to relax. This is how, you need some guidance. It's not just all about this syllabus. There are something more than syllabus. So understand the nature of this exam, because journey is longer. One complete year. Exam is to be consumed in 1 year. उस 1 year को तो exam देना है. उससे पहले 1 साल तो we need to devote for the preparation at least, or like 7-8 months. Okay, so journey is a bit longer, so you have to move very cautiously and with strategically. Okay, fine. So we have rationalism and empiricism. In this background, now we have one of the greatest philosophers. And that philosopher, you will see him in all disciplines. You will find him in ethics, very important. You will find him in political science, geography, history, sociology. Philosophy mein to hai. Right? German philosopher, and that is Kant. So in this background of fierce debate between rationalism and empiricism, one person, one of the greatest philosopher, Kant, comes. What he does, he critically examines both of them. Right? Rationalism is studied critically, empiricism critically is studied, and finally comes to the conclusion. He concludes that I tell you how knowledge is formed. Okay? After much exercise, analysis, critical examining, this and that, he says that knowledge is formed by equal contribution of rationalism and empiricism. Reason, knowledge for in the knowledge formation, reason and experience both are playing equal role. And the whole Western world got up and clapped and said, "Kya baat bol di yaar, जबरदस्त, भाई तू तो great है ही, मान रहे." We will see what Kant have said in about perhaps 18th century AD. That same thing that is in more consistent way had been already told by one of the Indian school of philosophy way back in 6th century BC. More than 2000 years ago, Indian philosophy have told that how knowledge is formed, that too flawless. We will see in Kant some criticism is there, some flaws are there. But that school of Indian philosophy have given flawless explanation. That means, look, we have compared Western philosophy with, that's amazing. Your examiner will be delighted. That's how known as comparative study. Okay. So first, once we take up, then I will be dropping such kind of things. Once we will take up another section, then you should be able to correlate, recall, and you will understand, okay, this is how comparison is to be done. Interlinkages, comparative study. They are very beautiful, very amazing tools, weapons for your jumping in marks score. But don't get obsessed with that. Just writing by comparison, it will not do any wonders. Comparative study will do wonders only when you have substance, you have conceptual understanding, you are writing well organized answer, and then you compare. That's like, icing on the cake. After 20, if examiner is thinking of 10, then he will might give you 12 and a half or 13. That's how jump in the marks. Problem is, which will be with you also, I believe, that you people will become obsessed with this. Obsession नहीं लाना है, जैसे आपका answer writing का obsession है. I told you in the first class, answer writing होगा ना यार, पहले करें तो कुछ करें तो सही. Let us do something. You will get to see that how answer writing is to be done. लेकिन obsession नहीं लाना है. Okay, everything will come, everything. Let us go into in an organic way. Fine. So Kant will reconcile rationalism and empiricism and will give the solution. That how knowledge is formed. Whatever topics have been mentioned in front of Kant, that is simply further elaboration of this only. That we will see once we'll take up Western. So unit 1, unit 2, rationalism, empiricism, Kant. Who is more important? That concept has become now outdated. Why? Because now they are asking 10 marker question, 15 marker question, 20 marker question. In old pattern, they used to ask only two types of question, 20 marker and 60 marker. Their formula used to apply that which philosopher is important. Then we used to say कि यार इस बार जो है स्पिनोजा कर लेना, हाँ, इस बार जो है ह्यूम पे क्वेश्चन आएगा. That formula doesn't work now. Because 10 marker question means examiner will cover entire syllabus. And that's where you people have added advantage, because we would be doing 100% of the syllabus right from top to bottom. Nothing will be left out. But that's the problem with subjects like geography and history and political science. Doing 100%, that too geography, and revising, that is a Herculean task. That's a cumbersome. We have taken philosophy because it is a short syllabus, and my standard of revision is 20 revisions. If you are making less than 20 revisions, the very purpose of taking philosophy is defeated. 20 revisions, like, right now you might be finding 20 revisions. मतलब ये हुआ कि भाई आप ही का सब्जेक्ट पढ़ें, बाकी तो नहीं पढ़ना. No, it is not like that. I have already given you triggering points for essay and ethics, because I know that my subject would be, will have some sense only when you reach to the mains and when you perform everywhere. It is not like that. It's a very realistic. And if you talk to any rank holder, they will confess that, sir, 20, that number is a very modest figure. We have ended up revising much more than that. It is like that. So initially you might feel 20 revisions, but no, it is very much practical. So go for that. And such a number of revisions is not possible in other areas. Your roommate who has some different subject will be frustrated during mains, because you will end up revising entire philosophy in 3 days. Anyway, so we have rationalism, empiricism, and Kant. So entire syllabus will be covered, okay, through 10 mark and all that. After this, we have, after Kant, we have Hegel. And Hegel, some put in modern philosophy and some put in contemporary philosophy. But I think Hegel is in the transition phase. And that transition phase is of unit 3. And that is contemporary philosophy. Okay, that is contemporary philosophy. Contemporary philosophy, we say like this, that Hegel presents a transition. Because Hegel said something in Western philosophy which was not taken nicely by the philosophers. He said something so categorically that there was instant, spontaneous, very sharp reaction against that. And hence we see that post-Hegelian philosophers are basically critic of Hegel. Right? So we put Hegel in that transition. Hegel before and post-Hegel. Post-Hegel are critic of Hegel. Okay? So whenever we will take a Western philosophy, first we will discuss till Hegel. And once Hegel is done, then I will create a chart, because by that time we would be finishing Indian philosophy also. So we would be done with Indian philosophy and we would be done with Western philosophy till Hegel. Then at that point of time, after doing Hegel, I will recreate this chart. And I would be utilizing this entire portion of this board and I will show you the interlinkages in this section and across Indian and Western. And there will be so many linkages. One arrow is this, then this. There will be so much intersection. And that chart would work as a wonder for you. Okay? That will clearly let down your paper one in one go. Look, this is what, with the interlinkages and comparative study. How Plato is related to Indian, in Indian, which philosopher, how the term will come. That chart will become very intense. After discussing, that chart, I will discuss post-Hegelian philosopher also. And just as I have given you backgrounder and their essence of their philosophy, I will give here also, so that you will develop again a very good familiarity with these philosophers. And you will see that many philosophers over here would be correlated with there, and some are correlated with the Indian. मजा आएगा उस वक्त आपको. You will see that how things, your syllabus is so well defined and so scientifically designed. It's not just random. After discussing and making the chart, I will advise, I will request, I will suggest that you take a bigger page, I think A3 or A2, because A4 size is very small. You take this much size paper and at your home, redraw that chart with proper spacing, with different color pens. I'm using 3 color pen, that makes that as some sense into that. So you also use different color with proper spacing, because as you revise, you will have more insights. So there might be need for further updating that chart. Make that chart and put on your some wall. Don't do anything, just in a day, see once or twice. You will never forget. You will never forget comparative study. You will never forget the core part of their philosophy. Okay. So that's how we have the Western philosophy. So we have unit 3, unit 1, unit 2, and unit 3. As I told you, question will be from all the aspects, from all the topics. Okay. Sometimes 2 questions from unit 1, sometimes more questions from rationalism, empiricism, sometimes more question in contemporary. This year was very exceptional year that we did not have much from contemporary. Not a single question was there in that question number 1 compulsory question. But that's a matter of chance. We would be doing 100%. And as I told you, that whatever I'll explain, that will come on the board. Okay. You can jot down points as a running notes, which you are all doing. Then I'll dictate for each topic synopsis. After completion of particular section, I will suggest some standard textbook also. But that standard textbook has to be read after at least 4 or 5 revisions. Then only you will be able to appreciate, and then only you will be able to filter out what is not in your syllabus. Is that fine? Okay. So that's like first big picture formation of Western. Similarly, I would be giving you tomorrow on the philosophy of religion. And then I'll give you on Indian philosophy. And with that, I will begin Indian philosophy. So I think most probably day after tomorrow, we would be starting our the first topic. We will start with Indian philosophy. We can start in either way, either Western or Indian, right? But we will be starting with Indian. Then we'll move to Western. Of course, we will move then to philosophy of religion, because philosophy of religion is a byproduct of paper 1. And then we will take up socio-political philosophy. For socio-political philosophy also, first I'll do such kind of analysis, and then we will pick up topic. Okay. So that's how the course plan is. Again, to remind, your all questions, doubts for you, for the online people, don't worry, we will handle, right? You can ask right now. We will have some regular sessions with the online people. There they can ask you their doubt. Avoid impulsive questions. Just take your own time to think over it. Try to understand. If not, then you ask me. We will discuss. As once we start topic, then more do's and don'ts will come. As far as your answer writing is concerned, until unless you make at least 4 revisions, pen nahi chalega. I mean, that's a practical experience. So again, don't be in hurry. Understand, revise it, and then you come to the answer writing. Magic does not occur. Okay, don't have over expectation. जो process है वो तो लगना ही लगना है. Okay, fine. So let us wind up for the day, and tomorrow we'll continue with this same time.